I accused my girlfriend of cheating, and now I can't make up for it.
How much proof did you have?
Basically, my 28 male girlfriend, 24 female, was acting shady. By shady, I mean that she was on her phone a lot making phone calls, and I saw payments from her cards for events and things I wasn't doing with her. By the way, this comes from user UniFaraB3, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you do in the comments. I waited it out a week or two, and the weirdness continued. She fell asleep, and I went through her phone and found bookings for a hotel at the weekend in a city a ways away, and tickets for some sporting event on that weekend. I woke her up and shoved the phone at her, demanding she explain. She looked distraught and said, "Do you really think I'd do that?" and began to cry. She then told me to look at the bookings properly, and when I did, my heart sank. We rarely got time off together, and she had booked me the weekend off through my boss as a surprise, booked a hotel in the city I said I wanted to visit, and it just so happened my team were playing in that city that weekend, so she'd spend a good amount on tickets. She had also booked a table at my favorite restaurant. I instantly realized how stupid I had been, and I can't believe my first thought was that she would betray me when she's given me no reason to distrust her. It's kind of tainted the surprise weekend, and she's so disheartened. I've tried to apologize, but she's just shut off from me and is so hurt by my assumptions. How can I make this better? And we have some comments.
I don't know how you make this better. Yeah, I mean, you can apologize, but you one snooped through her phone, you jumped to the final accusation of her cheating on you, and you showed her how dumb and insecure
And
you
your
are.
weird vibes from the setup of this story were just that, like, she's been on the phone and she's going places and doing things without you. That doesn't sound like very firm evidence at all. Hershey Kiss Nips says, "There probably isn't much you can say to make this better instantly. Certainly apologize, not only for jumping to the conclusion, but for invading her privacy and going through her phone. You clearly understand why she is so upset. I think you need to do some soul searching to discover why you were quick to jump to her cheating. My guess is that you have some trust issues in your life in general and or some insecurities. She is personalizing this as you seeing something in her that would bring you to that conclusion, that she is someone who is dishonest or presents as someone who could cheat. You say in your post that is not the case, so where did that come from? If you can articulate that to her, take the blame from her and own it, and commit to working on whatever that issue is, you're taking a step in the right direction." Violent Delights XOX says, "Can anyone just take a sec and realize he somehow saw her bank payments too? Like, this is beyond wrongly accusing someone. This is invading her privacy and making her feel like utter crap because you couldn't just ask her what was going on. Instead of talking and voicing your concerns to her, you acted like a teenager and effed your relationship up. I don't know whether this is fixable, and you need to sit down and talk to her about it rather than asking strangers on the internet." I read your responses and decided to make a big apology to my girlfriend for how I behaved. However, before I got the chance, she arrived at the house. I'll hold my hands up and say that this isn't the first time I've jumped to conclusions, and pretty much since we've got together, I've had a habit of winding myself up and then checking her phone or accounts. I know it's wrong, but I always felt if I found something, I'd be justified, which is so messed up, I know. My ex did cheat on me. Well, she had an affair and left me for the other dude. I guess I projected this onto my current girlfriend. My girlfriend never ever has given me any reason to doubt her and treats me better than I've ever been treated before. She's down to earth, honest, open, funny, kind, beautiful, and she gives me the opportunity to share my thoughts and feelings with no judgment. I don't know why I assumed the worst of her. I really don't. To answer a common question, she has an online banking app on her phone, and it's the same passcode as her mobile, so I could log on. Super effed up. I know. When she arrived at the house, she was calm but sad. She explained that she knew I'd always check her phone and that I'd be off with her anytime she went out with friends, but that she always hoped over time if she proved herself, I'd let it go. When she found out that I'd done what I did, it hurt even more because she was trying to do something nice for me. She told me she loves me, but she finds herself justifying every activity she does, over-explaining herself, and told me she has real, genuine anxiety whenever she's out with friends because she knows I'll be at home imagining scenarios of where she could be. She found herself withdrawing from friends. She told me we were over. Not because she doesn't love me, because she can't devote her life to someone who only sees the worst in her. She told me that I could have just spoken to her and she'd be honest, but that she knows even if she did, I wouldn't believe her unless I could prove it. And she's probably right. I don't know why, but I know in myself I would not fully believe her because, I mean, of course she would say that, right? Anyway, she left me, packed up her things, and went. I know her. She's a strong-minded woman. It really is over, and I've never felt worse. But she's right. I'm not ready to trust someone yet, and even in our last moments, she gave me the confidence and motivation to get help and be better, even if she won't be there to see the change. I know she loves me, and that fact alone makes it worth changing myself. And by the way, something that never changes is that you can listen to more full episodes with stories just like this one on your favorite podcast platform. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts, just search OK Storytime. There is a little more story left.
OP, this is a big, big life lesson for you, and you know the issue. You know what you got to do. You got to just focus on yourself. You got to resolve this trauma, and it's hard, but you can't blame her. I don't think anyone blames her. She said the whole truth.
Let's finish this story. I'm not going to try and win her back because I can't promise I won't do it again. I'm heartbroken and hurt, but she verbalized it in such a way that it really hit home. She calmly explained it to me in a way that only showed me her true love for me. I'm just so sorry for hurting her, I guess. But thank you all for sharing your opinions and giving me some home truths. I appreciate it more than you know. This is it for now. Hopefully, this time next year, I'll be a new man and be able to treat the next woman who loves me the way my ex-girlfriend deserved to be treated. Well, at least you're moving on. I guess that's the right move.
This was a big wake-up call, OP. We wish you the best. I don't think right now the thought process of next partner, I feel like it needs to stem to you first before anything, of how you can trust and can you do this, because this is going to be a big problem in any relationship. So hopefully that can get resolved, or you can work on yourself, and then when the time is right and you find a partner, hopefully it gets better. My boyfriend posted a photo with a friend sitting on his lap.
Yeah, that ain't no friend. No friend of mine.
Matt, 28 male, and I, 22 female, have been dating unofficially for 9 months and officially for 4. We kept things casual at first since we were both close to graduating from our respective programs and weren't sure where we would end up. But once we were both settled in the same city, we made things official. By the way, this comes from user DevDevDevD. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. Not yet. So, we only know what we do. Please let us know what you do in the comments. As OP says, during this casual dating phase, I met a few of his friends. One in particular, Sarah, 27 female, often went out of her way to clarify that we were not official or exclusive. She also made catty comments about my profession, which I love doing, but it's certainly not as prestigious as my boyfriend's and his friend's job. She made comments about my school, again not nearly as prestigious as where they all attended, and my age, since I'm 5 years younger than them. She has just generally made condescending comments to me and rudely interrupted me. I've never made a big deal out of it because Matt's other friends are really friendly to me, and I'm generally an easygoing person. All of Matt's friends, including Sarah, recently went to a party. I was invited, but had other plans, so I didn't go. A few days later, on the Blue app, someone posted a photo of all the friends together at this said party. Everyone is posed normally, except Matt and Sarah. He's sitting down, and she has her arms and legs wrapped around him, and is arching her back and kind of flipping her hair back. It clearly comes across as spicy related because several people commented on the post asking what was going on or marking jokes about it. I texted Matt and asked why he thought it was a good idea to take a photo of his friend, practically mounting him, and he said, "Are you on something? That's just a photo of friends." I tried explaining to him that I found it disrespectful, but he hasn't budged. So, am I overreacting here? What should I do? And we have some relevant comments. Dragonflies Love Me says, "Ah yes, the classic deflect, then blame you move." That plus the fact that he never gently or otherwise said anything to her about how she treats you in general says to me that he likes her attention and does not want to give it up. So, I think it's time for a sit-down talk. He needs to understand where you're coming from, and he needs to decide if her attention is more important than you feeling disrespected by the both of them. Then you'll have to decide how much you're willing to put up with. No, I don't think you're overreacting. He'll play dumb, really, really dumb, or he knows exactly what she's doing and he enjoys it. Even if he's not fully aware of what she's doing, he's enjoying it, but he needs to realize that this is coming at the expense of your feelings and the cost of your respect and the public perception of respect of this relationship. I mean, his friends were even laying it on the soft corn context of that pic. He needs to take some responsibility here. He can say to Sarah, "Chill out, take it down a notch," or even say, "Hey Sarah, easy there. That's my girlfriend you're insulting. Not cool. Waiting for a dragon." I think that the previous commenter has really described the situation perfectly. I would also love to know how Matt would react in this situation if your roles were reversed and you were sat in the lap of some man who had subtly and not so subtly mocked him in front of you on multiple occasions. Sometimes, when drink and silliness is involved, people get carried away and do things that wouldn't normally do in the sober light of day. It's possible that this is what has happened with Matt, and that instead of putting his big boy shoes on and admitting it, he's being defensive. What bothers me more in your account than the picture is the catty comments you've endured. Why hasn't Matt picked up on these and done something about them? I think what matters now is whether or not he will acknowledge this transgression and admit he messed up and will promise to be more careful in the future. If he doesn't, I think it would be in your best interest to move on from this relationship. It's not worth investing more time in someone who can't respect their partner. OP responds with, "From what I know of Sarah's personality, she's the type of person who will say or do outrageous things for attention. And then her friends will just laugh and say, 'That's Sarah for you!' Wow!
That's so Sarah. Oh,
Did I call it or did I call it?
yeah. She's like, that's just who she is.
She's just a boss bee. Come on. She really gets to you like that? You're kind of soft, OP. OP, you're kind of soft. She's chill. Once you get to really know her personality, she's really cool. So when she says insulting things to me, there will usually be a moment of everyone sharply inhaling, followed by laughter and, 'Oh my God, Sarah, you can't say things like that.' When I brought that up, I don't like being the subject of her wit. Matt's basically had the reaction of, 'That's just how she is.'
I just like hanging out with mean ladies. You're gonna have to be okay with that. I like my ladies a little mean.
You see this? You see this? Out of pocket. That's just Sarah. That's just Sarah. Yeah, if he's not respecting your boundaries or even sticking up for you and he's just like, that's how it is, and he knows you're being disrespected, it shows how far he will go for you. So, after reading the responses here, I felt I was being pretty rational about my concerns. I confronted my boyfriend, and not only did he double down on the insistence that he did nothing wrong, but he also said some pretty nasty things. This brought up other issues we'd had, and I decided to end things. Nice. You know what else is nice?
I have a feeling I do.
That you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to your favorite podcast app, such as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and just searching up OK Storytime. It's pretty nice.
It's very nice.
There's a little bit left. It looks like it's been resolved. You got his true colors, and you broke up with him. Good for you, OP.
Never an excuse for your partner to get angry, yelly, mad at you. Never. Never accept someone being legitimately angry, yelly, blah, blah at you.
Now, almost a month later, on social media, I see he and Sarah are now dating.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, brace yourself for that inevitably happening probably, but, you know, Ah.
Potato, potato. Just move on. So much for that being a normal picture for platonic friends to take, right? Lesson learned. Trust your gut and choose a partner who respects you. I never felt secure in that relationship, but I know one day I'll find someone who cares about me and isn't quasi-cheating with his friend. Being single is 100 times better than being called crazy for calling out inappropriate behavior. We have some top comments here. Let's go ahead straight into them. From deleted, now he can become Sarah's problem, I'd say. Behavior like that doesn't change overnight, and I guess they both have another thing coming. Really good on you, OP, for trusting your gut and putting yourself first. Good luck with everything. Abyss Stare says, always trust your gut. And yes, being single is always better than a disrespectful relationship. You did the right thing. And that's the end of that story. Good job. You knew you weren't going to be that punching bag. You weren't going to keep taking that ish. So good for you, OP. Find someone who respects you and treats you the way you deserve.
I refused to wear my engagement ring because it lost its purpose.
Yeah, if you're not getting married, don't wear it.
I, 32 female, love my boyfriend, 40 male, and we have been together for 5 years, living together for 4. We have a nice relationship. I love him deeply, and I know he loves me. By the way, this comes from user Unusual Candy 8407. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give you good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I have been through heck and back over the past 2 years after my mom passed, and he has truly shown me what being loved and supported feels like. However, if I had to pick what bothers me the most about him, it is his lack of initiative to move our relationship forward. When we had been dating for a year and he slept at my place every night, I was the one who suggested, hey, why are we both paying rent? Let's just pick a place. That way we can save up for a down payment. He was hesitant, but ultimately agreed, and now constantly says it was the best decision of his life. Then, for talking about having children, I was the one who brought it up. Every difficult conversation or thing that needs to move us forward to that life that he always says he also wants, I have to initiate. Otherwise, it seems like it would never happen. He just says he wants things, but then doesn't do anything to make them happen until I ask. The engagement ring is where I draw the line. I'm not going to ask for an engagement ring, especially after 5 years. He keeps mentioning that he's looking and that he's saving. I always tell him, whatever is fine, sweetie. I just want you to reassure him. I know unless I specifically ask for it, he will procrastinate this to the day before the wedding, if at all. We talked about getting married next year. We hired a planner, have discussed things with family, and he told his siblings and closest friends, and he calls me his fiance. I know it may be shallow, but it bothers me that people know he never gave me a ring. 3 months ago, he said he was going to see rings the next weekend, and I told him, what for now? It kind of lost its purpose. He said he wanted to give me something special, so he saved a lot, and that after all, it was just a present, so I should be grateful. The minute he said it, he knew he screwed up.
Yeah.
I told him, don't bother. I'll never wear the stupid ring. He bought it anyway, got me flowers, and apologized. I accepted the apologies, but I told him I meant it about the ring. He can keep it. I have not even seen the box opened. It is still in my nightstand. My sister says I'm being shallow and low-key a fool because the ring is expensive, so I should just take it, even though I'm not hurting for money. I do not want that ring. It is a symbol that I fell in love with a guy who leaves the responsibility of initiating everything to me, which is painful because it feels like he doesn't want those things. However, he seems truly offended by me not wearing it. Am I being shallow? And there are comments. Comment 1, unclear why you would want to get married given this situation. You seem unhappy. He seems unhappy. It sounds like you plan to get married because it's the next thing to do. Comment 2 says you should not get married. It seems you have some sort of resentment towards him. You wanted the ring but gave him mixed signals because you wanted him to be the one to get it for you. You can't say one thing and mean another and expect him to be a mind reader. This seems so petty that it must be something deeper that is pissing you off. Comment 3, honestly, if you plan on spending the rest of your life with him, you need to get over it and wear the ring. You fell in love with him, warts and all. Just enjoy your life and let this go. And if you can't, maybe you shouldn't marry him. I wish you good luck and hope it works out for you. A reply says, I think she is probably thinking he doesn't really want to do this. Reply, I think he doesn't feel he'll meet her expectations. And there's an update. That is, y'all are giving this guy too much grace.
Yeah.
I see this guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was a floater.
Yeah.
I was a floater, and this guy's floating.
Floating.
This guy's just saying, oh, whatever.
It's like, oh, it's chill.
Hey, I'm just
Whatever.
going with the flow, man.
Yeah.
And you gotta be, you gotta have a little enthusiasm about, I don't know, finding
Anything.
your life partner.
Right. Right.
Um,
You want to, like, match the vibe? We got to go with the flow, no mo.
yeah, there is an update. I asked the internet, and the internet delivered. LOL. My partner is wonderful, and I would not have enough space here to describe how wonderful. But he has this flaw, and I have others that drive me crazy, and I probably do not know how to handle it. He is like this with decisions in his life in general, not just with me. But of course, it only bothers me this much with things related to our relationship. His mom, who I have a great relationship with, is the one who suggested having a wedding in spring for the first time. I didn't suggest that, because the priest who married her would be back in town. We both thought this was a cute idea. I am not planning a wedding on my own. He is very much into it, pushing for it and picking the band and paying extra because he wants a cigar station, and fighting because I do not want kids there and he wants kids and dogs. He is happy and excited about this wedding, but again, without his mom's intervention, this would not be happening. The same goes for his career, his health, and every major purchase. His family is aware of this and constantly pushing him, but apparently I cannot do it without keeping resentment. I have discussed this with him in the past to try to understand. He says it is not on purpose and that I read too much into things. Floating.
Floater.
You can't just go, oh, well, I don't mean to do this.
Yeah.
You have to go, oh, well, I don't mean to do this, so I will make changes
Yeah.
to be more aware of when I do this.
I'll show what I mean with my actions.
I will take steps to change my behavior
Yeah.
and be more proactive in my own life.
Yeah. It's clearly not doing that.
When we bought our home, after his dad suggested many times we could afford it and to stop renting, he came to the house saying, babe, let's not renew the lease. What do you think if we look for a place? I got so happy and then disappointed when I later learned it was his dad's idea. Of course, I had to get the realtor and find the house and schedule the viewings, etc., because all he did was complain about the lease is about to be over and we have nothing without actually making it happen. But by the way, something you can make happen is you could listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast app. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, search OK Storytime, and you've got a whole mambo jumbo, big old mama mountain full of stories to listen to.
That's right.
And we have a little bit left in this story. I think you might not want to break up, but I think marriage needs to be put on hold.
I agree. Because then, I mean, if you get married, you're going to probably be thinking about a family. I'm assuming you guys want kids. I mean, imagine if he's like, oh my God, the kids don't have their bags together for school. And you're like, okay, do something about it then. Like, you're their dad.
I think we need to find there needs to be more equity in terms of the responsibility in the relationship. And he needs to be able to take responsibility for his own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Before he's ready to be married.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something you should just do because it's like the thing you do now.
Right.
It's like, it needs to make sense. It needs to feel right.
Right.
And so far it feels wrong.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure, you're saying he's a good partner in all these other ways. That's fine. I don't think you need to necessarily break up over this.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that it's like, all right, we need to be married and sign up for that for life.
Yeah.
If he's, just not able to, I don't even know pull his own weight,
Something. Like, not even in a
just
team
practically,
sense, just
like
in any sort of way. He needs to be able to take care of himself.
Yeah. Let's finish this story. My mom, who also loved him, used to tell me to accept him as he is because he accepts me, and I am no walk in the park either. I understand this, however, it bothers me. I do not know why to this extent, but it does. He is hardworking and does his house chores, by the way, before anyone calls him lazy. The thing is that I also work very hard and do my house chores. Why do I also have to plan vacations or be the one who has the idea in the first place? He doesn't initiate things. That is the issue, not any of the other stuff suggested in the comments. I still appreciate the responses, though superficial. And that is the end of that story.